In this third part of our simple series, we're going to talk about balance finish. I see it way too often. Players who come to me and say, "Pro, I need some help. I'm struggling. I've been playing for 7 or 8 years or whatever," and you go out to the range, you double check things, and you see this finish. And we know if we go to the range and we see that guy swing like that, or that gal swing that way, they're going to be struggling. They're going to be hitting tops. They're going to scull the ball, hit it fat, tops. They're going to hit all kind of crazy shots that really could be fixed by a couple of simple things. One was that first thing we discussed, which was grip. The second thing was athletic posture, getting set up to make this third thing, which is a balanced swing. A couple of things need to happen. If we set up good and we've got our good tilt, good posture, we're gonna do two things. We're gonna wind up. We would like to have our weight load into our right leg, almost like we're going to throw a ball. It's a very similar position. Very similar position to where I would be if I were throwing a punch. I'm gonna load into my right leg. The weight is always gonna stay on the inside of my foot, my rear foot. And I'm gonna feel tension on the inside of my right thigh. That is telling me that I am coiled and I'm ready for action. You would never see a good player do that, having the weight go outside of that foot. What can cause that is maybe a little lack of rotation. People call it sliding, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It's not good. It's not going to help us hit good, solid, quality shots. If that person does this, what happens is that right knee in the backswing is pointing outside of this right foot. That allows the weight to go outside of there. So it might be something that if you struggle with that, you can keep that right knee pointing maybe at your big toe. If you tried to point it at your ball, hell, that'd be awkward. It might be too much. So just keep it pointing maybe at your big toe or left of your just a little left of your big toe, and it's going to keep that weight on the inside of that right leg. And that is an athletic, part of the athletic posture, but this balanced swing is going to set you up to make what we really want to see, and we see it in all good players, and we see it in this. It's a balanced finish where everything we have ends up on our left side, the right toe points to the ground, our right knee kind of kisses the left. I personally have been doing this so long that I drag my right foot. I may overdo it a little bit, but I will wear my golf shoes out. I'll wear the paint off the toe if I played enough. I don't play that much anymore, but when I was playing regularly, I literally would wear the paint off my shoes because my right toe would come up and I would actually drag it a little bit. So we want to make sure that we're doing a couple of those things. We have that good athletic posture here. We're loading into our right side. We're unloading into the left side. And we're going to maintain this finish for as long as we can. A great training would be to hold that finish. If you're on the driving range, hold that finish for 5 seconds. That's an eternity. It's a long time. 5 seconds is like torture. But if you can do that and you're training yourself, what'll happen is you make that swing, and let's say you're a little off. 1, 2, 3, 4. You wouldn't be able to stay there. You're going to lose it one way or another wherever you're off, and it's going to give you some great feedback. Again, we want to always maintain that great finish straight up and down. We'd like to have our left side almost like you're facing into a wall. Right toe is pointing to the ground. Our right calf, this is key. See it wiggle? All right, so if it wiggles, that means there's no weight left on this back foot. That means there's no tension. There's a few things that happen if we have weight on this back foot. One is this. If we don't hit it fat, our club can sometimes move up and we'll catch it thin. We can also, a good player might do this and he may flip it and hit big hooks. So we want to be conscious of this and try to strive to finish on that left side. Always get to straight up and down, left side solid here, right toes pointing to the ground, and here's a good checkpoint. Let's say you're working on this and man, you've been doing it for a week or so. And I find myself here a lot. I'll be struggling a little bit and I'll go, okay, I'm gonna check my balance. So I go through, boom, and I'll say, pick up the back foot. Did you see that? Wasn't much. Maybe a couple of pounds left back there. It's not that big a deal unless I'm having a bad day. And what that's gonna create for me, it's gonna cause me to over-rotate my hands and probably hit it 20 feet left of the pin all day long. So I'm not gonna be a happy camper. And all it comes down to is I'm a little bit lazy with my finish. I wanna make sure I'm going, boom, straight up and down, finishing on that left side. And another thing it's gonna do for you as far as your body, if you finish a round of golf and you have back pain, lower back pain, this is something you need to be looking at really close to make sure you're not doing this. If you go through it, back in the day, Jack Nicklaus and Tom Watson and all of them did this. It was a big reverse C. Pause. All right. Okay, I had a little mishap with my mic there, so we're going to redo that a little bit. We're talking about the reverse C. Back in the day, we had, all of the great players did this. They would swing lots of lower body. I learned this way, and that's probably why I've had to have 2 hip surgeries on my left side. So the lower body would lead, upper body hangs back, and we would have, oh God, that hurts, a reverse C. That's compressing your lower spine. That is terrible for your, not only your golf game, but for your back as well. So if you're having lower back pain, check that. Just make sure you're finishing on that left side, straight up and down. And if you finish there, it takes the pressure off your lower back. It's gonna make it a lot easier, 1, to hit good golf shots, and 2, not be in pain when you get through playing. So this is gonna help you to be a better player. All great players do this. They all finish on that left side. If they're hitting a stock shot, let's say it's a mid-iron, maybe a short iron, they're gonna finish on that left side very balanced. Now, if they get greedy with a driver, yeah, they're gonna go after that and they're gonna end up rocking back a little bit, which is okay. You gotta realize these people do this 7 days a week. Most of us do it once a week. So if we can work on things like this at the house, just doing drills, finishing on that left side, straight up and down, boom, no weight, no pressure on the lower back, trying to get to where there's no weight on this right side. One of the things that'll hinder players being able to do this is too wide of a stance. And I'll exaggerate this. Let's say I did this and I tried to swing and I tried to shift my weight. It's impossible. Almost impossible. It would be very difficult for me to get my weight over to my left side. Now there's a happy medium there. If I had my feet very narrow, which is a great drill, I used to use this a lot when I was a kid, it'll help you maintain balance and rotate better. But it's very easy for you to shift your weight right and left. So there's a happy medium there, that's going to give us both stability and balance throughout our golf swing, and that is shoulder width apart maximum. That's with a driver. Everything else is going to be a little tighter than that. And no, our shoulders aren't this wide. There's a few people that are, but most of us aren't. So double check that. It's going to help you to get into that balanced finish easier. It's going to take the pressure off your lower back, and it's going to make you hit better golf shots. I hope you enjoyed this video. Follow along in my simple series. I've got quite a few of these videos coming, and really appreciate you watching. Thanks.